Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jets Landing Zone. I am your host, Walt, and today we're going to talk about the trade deadline, which just passed a couple of hours ago. And the Jets made a move, but really, if we're being honest, the move that they made, the shopping that they did before, was really bringing in Devontae Adams. That was really the trade that the Jets were going to make. But they did make a move that I really don't know what to think about. I mean, I kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. But let's talk about it. The Jets today traded wide receiver Mike Williams to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a fifth-round pick. It's not going to be their first fifth-round pick. It's going to be the lesser of the two from Pittsburgh. And I got questions about that. But let's take a look at what Mike Williams did when he was here. And remember, he was the guy that the Jets famously got for a Taylor ham, egg and cheese sandwich sent over by, I believe, NYJ Matt over on Twitter. And that kind of, if you want to go with the urban legend, kind of brought Mike Williams into the fold. But Mike Williams ended up playing 9 games for the Jets, and it comes out to 12 catches for 166 yards and 0 touchdowns, and the infamous red line quote from Aaron Rodgers. Clearly, Mike Williams had a difficult time, kind of, getting acclimated with the team, got acclimated with Aaron Rodgers. Proved that he can play. It looked like he can play. He made some pretty good catches while he was here, but at the end of the day, he really wasn't as big a playmaker as the Jets thought he would be when he was here. Especially now with Devontae Adams in the fold, Mike Williams is kind of an afterthought. The reason why I'm a little perplexed, and I get it. Listen, at the end of the day, Mike Williams is not going to be a part of this team. Getting rid of him for a 5th-round pick kind of makes sense, because you know what? You're not going to keep him here, so might as well trade him and get something back for him, right? I get that. The thing that bothers me, the thing that kind of perplexes me a little bit about this, is the fact that Alan Lazard is still on the IR. He went on the injured reserve, I think, last week, so he's gone for another 3 games at minimum. You're kind of light in the wide receiver room right now. It's basically Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Gibson, Malachi Corley, Irv Charles, Jason Brownlee. That's your wide receiver room. If one of your top 2 receivers goes down with an injury, you're kind of screwed. Now, the thing about it is, this probably signals the fact that the Jets are probably going to move a Malachi Corley up the depth chart. I'm hoping that happens, because I do want to see more of Malachi Corley. We saw a brief instance of him in the last game. Granted, he totally screwed that one up by dropping the ball as he was crossing the end zone on a sure touchdown, right? But that kind of is the promise of what Malachi Corley can be, because I've been saying it for a while now, and I think plenty of Jets fans have been saying it for a while. We want to see Corley on the field. Corley was called the Yak King for a reason. There is an opportunity for him now to actually get on the field and show off why he is called the Yak King. And I would like to see him playing in the slot with Rodgers and the team throwing him wide receiver screens, doing jet sweeps, things of that nature that shows off his ability to run after the catch. So let's see if that happens, because quite honestly, I don't want to see Xavier Gibson as that 3rd wide receiver. We've seen him before. I like the kid, but he is not an NFL receiver as of right now. After that, who else are you going to pick? I mean, Jason Brownlee maybe, but we really haven't seen anything from him to suggest that he can make that jump. Irv Charles, he's here mostly for special teams. So really, you're kind of slim picking. So the move to get rid of Mike Williams, in a way, is kind of perplexing. And the other part that I don't like is that they send them to an AFC team. Not only that, they send them to the Steelers. And now the Steelers, we've already played them. We've lost to them. So we've lost the head to head to Pittsburgh. This is a team that we may likely, if, and I say this with a grain of salt, but if the Jets can make a run, why are you giving your competitor another weapon? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have George Pickens, but they don't have much else. They've been looking for a receiver all over the place. They ended up with Mike Williams. Now, Mike Williams, yes, maybe he's not as good as he was when he was with San Diego or Los Angeles, whatever you want to call the Chargers nowadays. But why even do that? I would have preferred that they look elsewhere and send him outside of the AFC. That way we're not worrying about him, because right now you're clearly putting him in the path of the Jets. And the Jets, if they do have a run in them, at some point the Steelers are going to kind of factor into that equation. So a little perplexing. I do get it. I do understand the move. I just don't understand why they had to send them to another team in the AFC. So that's the Mike Williams trade in kind of a nutshell. Now, the other interesting point that I have to bring out, Quinton Jefferson. That's a name that you probably recognize from me saying it here before, but Quinton Jefferson was released today by the Cleveland Browns. The reason I mention that is because, again, like I've said on this show before, I do think that the Jets need another interior defensive lineman. He's been here before. He played well for us before. It kind of makes this an easier transaction because you don't have to worry about picks anymore. Just pay the man. And I'm pretty sure he can come in here for the league minimum, if not a little bit more if you want to throw him some cash here. But the point is, bring Quinton Jefferson home. We need a big body. He checks off all the boxes. Bring him here. That being said, the Jets made a couple of moves today to kind of shore up their injury laden line, and which is weird because all of a sudden now we're having issues with our offensive line. But they did add two guys to the practice squad. Zach Bailey, he has experience in playing guard, tackle, and center. He's 28 years old. He's played one NFL game, so you're bringing him in here for depth. And you got another guy, Matt Sindrick. He is a rookie, undrafted free agent, and he can also play center and guard. So these are guys that the Jets signed to the practice squad. These are clearly depth moves and stuff like that. So, just in case, because we've already lost John Simpson to injury, we've lost Xavier Newman to injury, we've lost AVT. So these are guys that the Jets are bringing in to kind of like shore up that offensive line. And if they need to, they can bring them up to the main squad and stuff like that. So a couple of moves. They also released safety Marquise Blair from their practice squad. He was here for a minute. I think he played a couple of snaps for us and stuff like that. But whatever. So that's basically what the Jets have done so far in a nutshell. We're hoping that there's another move in them in terms of Quinton Jefferson. And so what we're going to do now is just take a look and go forward ahead. The Jets are going to be playing the Cardinals this Sunday. This is a team that, I guess you want to say, when we first saw the schedule, this was a team that we kind of circled and said, okay, the Jets can win that game. Cardinals have shown to be a tougher out. They're not as bad as we thought. They're actually pretty good. Their offense is kind of clicking right now. The key for me with the Jets, but the Jets can beat them. Okay, let me preface that right now. I do believe the Jets have it in them to beat the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Now, the key for me, however, is how they contain Kyler Murray, their quarterback. Because if Kyler Murray is able to get out of the pocket, he's going to cause some damage. And that's something that the Jets can ill afford. I think the Jets can, go up and down the field with their offense. It's the defense that really, for me, is going to be the key in terms of winning this game. So if you see that Kyler Murray is, running on the outside and getting first downs with his legs, that for me is going to be a little bit of a key factor in seeing how the Jets play this game. I really do think that the Jets, however, can win this game. I do believe that they will win this game. I probably think that this is going to be like a 28-24 type of game. It's going to be close, but I do believe that the Jets can pull it out. So anyway, it's just going to be a quick shot today. Thank you for watching as always. And please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a lot, but it goes a long way to helping us out. So until next time, go Jets.